Mando fan, welcome back to another video. It is finally time. I am going to finally build a backhand. Welcome to the Building the Backhand.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So what's gonna happen in this series and what I want to accomplish in this series is I want to start from scratch building a backhand. If you're new to the channel or you've been watching for a while, you would know that I'm a forehand dominant player, right? What I want to accomplish in this series is I want to be able to step up to a tee pad and know I can throw both backhand and forehand, whatever the shot calls for, right? Because that's really going to take me to the next level in my disc golf journey. If you're new to this channel, the whole goal of this channel is to really show you my journey from MA3 to hopefully MPO one day. And I know from talking with friends and pros, everything like that, they've said if you want to take that next journey or if you want to take that next step up into your career, you really have to learn a backhand. So now that I have put it off for this long, I'm going to finally start building my backhand. All right, so in this episode, what you're going to see is going to be right here. The first thing is I want to show you where I'm at. I'm going to show you my current form and how awful it is. The second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my grip and how I'm going to be changing it, but then also how I am currently holding my backhand if you really don't want to know how to hold a backhand. The third thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a bunch of shots with my current form. The fourth thing I'm going to do is then I'm going to model my form after a certain pro. If you want to see who I'm going to model my form after, you can go ahead and hit the timestamp below. It's all segmented in chapters if you care about that. And then the fifth thing I'm going to do is really just try and model that form after said pro. Obviously, this is going to take thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of repetitions. So I don't expect to have this all figured out within the first month, right? It's going to take months and probably a couple years of repetition in order to get to the point where I want to be, where all I want to do is just be super consistent, throwing the line on hyzer, flat, and hyzer, whatever I need to do. But that is the goal of this series. So today is just the basics, and then stay tuned, subscribe, like, share. That way you don't miss out on any videos and also any other further videos on building a backhand. Welcome, let's get started. All right, so here is one of my favorite discs as of right now. This is my mid-range hex. Now I think gripping a disc is very variant on the disc you're holding. If it's a fairway driver and if it's a putter, you're gonna hold them completely different ways, right? The way that I find it is I wanna find this part right here and I wanna dig that in right there. And then I'm just wrapping my fingers around. So kind of like a power grip like that, right? And then my thumb is going to be in the middle of the disc. This is awful and I'm not consistent with it at all. So later on in this video, I'm gonna show you how I want to eventually grip this a little bit better. And then with the putter, what I'm doing is I'm doing the same exact thing, except I'm doing a fan grip, right? So I have actually my index finger tucked, and then all three of these fingers are just kind of fanned out. I see a lot of people do 4 fingers, but I like a little bit of more spin on my putter, so I'll actually put my index finger in like this. This I will not change, but I do need to change that other grip. All right, so now that you know how I grip all my putters and my mid-ranges and fairway drivers and all that stuff, I'm going to rip a couple shots here. It's a little windy, I got a little left to right wind, so that might affect it a little bit, but we're gonna start with all these piers. If you don't know what a pier kind of does, it's pretty much a buzz, except it's a putter, so it's not gonna go nearly as far. Now, I'm just gonna throw in my old form and see how this ends up, and then I'm going to show you what I wanna model my form afterwards, and then we're gonna try and just end this video, end this episode, if you will, of this series, trying to model that new pros form. So without further ado, let me show you how bad this form is. And that right there is kind of what I'm talking about. It's just not a consistent release point. I'm finding a lot of it is either low and I'm throwing it into the ground about 100 feet in front of me, or I'm throwing it sky high like that one. I can't consistently do what I did on that first one. That wind is affecting it a little bit, but I'm kind of getting a good hold of these actually. That one's a little bit more stable. All these piers are beat in just a little bit more differently. Some of them are newer. Some of them have been putting with, I've been putting with for a year now. So some of them are definitely a lot more beat in. Like that one's more beat in, but still got a good flight out of it. We're gonna go ahead and move on to my mid-ranges. I just have 2 stable mid-ranges. I got my Hex, I got my Buzz, and then I got an Athena. I'll see if I can reach it all the way down to that goal. But so far, they haven't actually been too bad. But I think the thing that I need to work on is just that release point and also the timing. I'm really pulling through before I actually even engage my hips, which is a big no-no. Another thing is I throw on extreme hyzer. Not as bad as they used to be, but I throw on a lot of hyzer. What am I doing? And I think it has something to do with how far my body is coming down and ripping through. Obviously it's the angle of the disc, right? But I feel like as I'm coming up and stepping through, I'm like this, and I'm not popping up like this. I'm just staying down, and my angle of the disc is very much like this, and that is going to end on hyzer, and I'm also wanting my body to be on hyzer, so that's probably why I'm throwing on hyzer. I gotta fix that. All right, now it's time to show you who I want to model my form after, because MandoMeade form, nobody wants to model it after that.
We are going to be modeling our form after the man, the myth, the legend, Corey Ellis. A lot of you might not know who Corey Ellis is, but you should learn the name because he is going to be a force to reckon with in the future. He is just getting started. He is with Discraft, and I'm just amazed at what this guy can do from just 3 simple steps with his backhand. So let's go ahead and dive right into what he does in his backhand. I'm just going to play at full speed what his backhand form actually is, and then I'll be back and we're going to break it down. So at first glance, it may not look like you'd be able to throw 450 feet, much less like 350 feet, right? But Corey Ellis has this down to a science. He's got this down so perfect to where you don't need a crazy big run-up like Kevin Jones. You don't need a crazy big run-up like Paul Macbeth trying to throw 500 feet, right? All you need is good form. And that's exactly what he has. He has his hips rotating. He's got a great reach back. He's got the full power through of that left arm. He's hitting the power pocket perfectly. You don't need a crazy big run up in order to throw 500 feet. And I'm not looking to throw 500 feet. I'm just looking to throw a good backhand. But I chose Corey Ellis for 2 reasons. Number 1, he makes the backhand throw so incredibly simple. I think with the less amount of steps and things going on in my head, the less margin of error is going to happen, or the less room for error is going to happen, right? So that is the first reason I chose Corey. The second reason is he just makes it look so effortless. He's got one big step forward. He's got a small little X step, a hop into the air. As soon as that front foot is planted, he's got a great reach back. And then as he's starting to pull through, his hips are firing with that arm. And then he's hitting the power pocket, and it's just butter from there. So he just makes it look so effortless in only 3 steps. So that is why I'm trying to model my form after Corey Ellis.
What I want to end up doing is I want to just build the consistent reps of that backhand form. So I'm starting that 1-2 pull through, and I'm going right at that net. What I want to build from this is just consistency. That way, when I feel like I need to do it, it doesn't feel so foreign to me. Because right now, what I'm used to is starting all the way back here. I'm gonna take 1, 2, X step, boom. I just need to get used to those 3 steps. There we go, 1, 2, 3. This is gonna take a while. I knew building a backhand wasn't gonna be easy, but there's so much that goes into a backhand in disc golf that it is not gonna be just a week long. And I'm perfect. Oh my gosh, I hit the gap. That's smaller than that Boyd Hill gap. What the heck? I did not expect to be in the parking lot getting the disc today, but here I am. Now what I want to do is I want to talk about what I'm thinking about and trying to accomplish in my backhand throw after watching that video, but then also while I'm out here. It's one thing to watch it and be like, okay, his foot's doing this, he's reaching back at a certain time, and then it's another thing to come out here and do it, because I watched that video and I'm like, it's 3 steps, there's a reach back, there's a pull through. I feel like this is going to be simple. I got out here, it is not simple. So I just want to take you through kind of the struggles, the struggle pains of trying to build this backhand and modeling it after someone's form rather than just doing it and feeling what's comfortable to you. So let's do that. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm thinking about when I'm trying to model my form after Corey. Now, what he ends up doing is he starts on the right side of this tee pad. The second thing he does is as he moves forward, he is not planting with his heel. This is one thing that I've been doing during my entire just throwing my backhand over the course of a year and a half playing disc golf. I start with my heel and not the ball of my foot. The backhand throw is such an athletic movement that you need to be on the balls of your feet, and the balls of your feet allow you to rotate open. So that's the first thing I'm thinking about. I need to think about transitioning from the balls of my feet, or transitioning from being so normal and feeling like I'm always on my heels to being on the balls of my feet. The second thing that I'm thinking about is where my feet are going to go, right? His first movement is out and forward on the ball of his foot. His second movement is a small little X step, and then his third movement is opening up that right foot, not open, but it's opening it up and putting it in that plant position. And it is horizontal, not vertical. If it's vertical, this is where you're gonna lose a lot of power because your hips are already open and you're not gonna get a lot of distance from this. So his last step is a horizontal placement and it's facing backwards. The third thing I'm thinking about, and this is all going on in that movement. So it's hard, man. The third thing I'm thinking about is as he's making that X step, that hand is coming off the disc, and as he's planting this should be a full reach back. This is the hardest part, and this is probably a video that I have to dedicate, or this is an episode that I'll have to dedicate a whole video to, is just the timing of the backhand. He's going 1, 2, off, full. This is moving down, the hips are opening, and then that is when his disc and the reach back is pulling through. So there is so much that goes into this that I just got to do this over and over and over and over again until I feel confident in doing it. So let's just throw a couple here on camera. Ball of the foot, X step, 1, but I didn't do the reach back. So it's hard. All right. Ball of the foot, X step, boom. That one felt better. I just released it super early. That was the best one. Guys, this is gonna take so much time and effort. I don't know what I'm getting myself into, but this is the journey of becoming MA3 to MPO one day. That one felt really good too. I don't know what I did, but I gotta review the footage right there. That way I can do it consistently. I think another thing that helps too is recording yourself, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit this video. And as I edit this video, I'm going to break it down frame by frame, throw by throw, and understand what I'm doing is wrong. So if you have a tripod, if you're trying to build a backhand, whatever, be sure to record yourself, because I feel like it is going to help me in the long run, even though out here right now, I feel so helpless and I feel so stupid that I'm even doing this as a series because I'm throwing shots like that. But I feel like if you get a tripod, if you record yourself, I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna review the footage, and then I'm gonna come out here and I'm gonna try and correct that stuff, which is then gonna make me a better player. So I highly recommend doing that. All right, team, that is gonna do it for building a backhand episode number 1. I accomplished a good bit in this video. I feel a little bit more confident in my backhand. Now I know kind of what my run-up is. I know a little bit of the timing, and I also know kind of how I wanna throw certain shots and all of that. So it felt a little unproductive at times, but it felt very productive at the same time. So next time I come back out here, I already know kind of what I'm doing, and I'm picking up from where I left off. So yes, that is episode 1. Let me know in the comment section how I can improve this series and how I can help you become a better disc golf player as well, because I just want to say this, I'm not a coach. I'm just having you join me along from my journey from MA3 to MPO, like I've said before in this video. So let me know in the comment section how I can be a better resource to you, essentially, in this series. How can I help you build a backhand as well? That's basically what I'm asking. Thanks for watching, guys.